Tom Clark's Main Event is a Boink Studios production. And now, on with the show.
This is Daddy's show. Step off.
Hey, what is up? Welcome to the program, folks. Thank you for tuning in. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tom Clark, and this is Tom Clark's Main Event. What's up, kids? Welcome back to the program. You only see the one hand this time because the other hand is holding the phone. Isn't this weird? This is vanity at its finest. I, for some odd reason, decided to get this happening. Hey, what's up? All right. This is not even like broadcasting anywhere. This is just me right here. You would think that I would like have another screen here and broadcasting to like Instagram or something. What a great idea. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll just do that. In the meantime, I may just post this and tell everybody watching this silly little video, you could get a whole lot less of Tom because this picture is like it's got pops and stuff and the base, and like this is just all the hairy goodness that is Tom. See that? All right. I have no idea why I did that. Happy Friday to you. What's going on? Sometimes I get an inclination to do something funky. So I did it. Sue me. We got loads to talk about here today. Big week coming up next week in the world that is owned by Vincent Kennedy McMahon. Lots of stuff to talk about. Today is not the WrestleMania preview show. That's going to come next Friday. How's my hair? Am I good? That's going to come next Friday, okay? This week, we're talking about all kinds of different stuff. Stuff that's going on next week, headlines and the like and the such. Let's get some stuff on the screen so you know who he is and what we is all about. By God. There I is. What's up? So, yeah, man, let's get some stuff ticking, shall we? Bam, there it is. Let's say some hellos. Who was first at the table? Sandy in Germany. My man. Guten Tag to you, sir. Thanks for hanging out. Sugar Shane Odom, how you doing, my friend? Brendan, what's going on? Mark, what's going on? Check Mark. I'm going to call you Check Mark. I don't know why. Jeff, what's going on? Happy Easter to you as well. Sean, what's going on, my friend? Good morning to you, Belinda. Jamel in Vegas, what's happening? Elvis Martinez, what's going on? Sean's in Massachusetts. Massachusetts. There was something I watched years ago where there was like this really, really smart mouth judge, and he kept saying, Massachusetts. Anyways. Eric says, tuning in while waiting to pick my niece up from field hockey practice. Nice. Eric, how are you doing, my friend? Thanks for tuning in. What's up, Victor? Hey to you as well. Russell Jackson was good. I love that you guys talk to each other. It's like all my little kids just kind of hanging out, being nice. You guys play pretty. Everybody be pretty. I'm in the South, right? So my granny, as we affectionately referred to her, would always tell me and my cousins, everybody be purty. You kids play purty. Have I ever told you that? It's funny. I think it's funny. Timothy, what's going on? Sandy says, I'm late today. Boy, you can't win them all, can you, Sandy? Good Lord. Here's what happened. I got the platforms I streamed to, and I did not have Wrestling Rumors on the selections. So it was all my fault. So there you go. Whole lot of Tom and no Wrestling Rumors happening. So I had to go fix it. Ronnie in Arkansas, what's going on? How's it going? Ryan says, Ryan, Tom's fine. Thank you, man. And thanks for watching. Everybody, thanks for watching. Cameron, my friend in Canada. Canadian Cam. Canuck Cam. Be safe out there, Cam. If you guys are friends with Cam on the Facebook, you see the weather he's driving in. It's atrocious. The frozen tundra of Canada. That's where Cameron lives, kids. Ray, I don't think you were with us last week, Ray. I hit that Adam Cole button a whole bunch, and you missed it. Elvis says, watching you while being outside, seeing the mayor speak and wait on the governor to show up. Good Lord. Well, let's be honest, Elvis. I'm much more important than either two of those clowns. I shouldn't say that. You may have a great governor and mayor or mayor. I don't have any idea. Adam Cole's King. How's the stream, everybody? How are we looking? Are we blurry or anything? My signal just suddenly dropped to nothing. Hopefully everybody is seeing us and hearing us okay. Refresh your page if you need to, kids. We're going to get to some quick headlines before we dive into the NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver preview. God, it's very wordy. It's lots of words. It's lots of thoughts to get on out into the stratosphere here. But we aims to get them out, and you aims to hear them, yes? Let's hit some quick headlines before we get marching along. NXT is officially moving to Tuesdays. On April 13th, Triple H had a meeting with the talent. There were some rumors going around of things that he supposedly said. One of those things supposedly was AEW bullied them on Wednesday nights. That has been retracted. A couple of different sources that were at the meeting that, like to talk to dirt sheets are telling these said dirt sheets that was not actually said. So don't believe everything you hear. I'm just saying. Everybody say hello to Dane Alves and Christopher Ray Patton from Geek Vibes Nation in the house. Yeah, there you go. Everybody say hello and welcome everybody again to the show. I do much appreciate it. So yeah, what's everybody's thoughts? Because here's what I've been saying to you for months. Well, since this thing started on Wednesday nights. I, along with a whole lot of other people online, smarter than me and maybe not as smart as me, everybody has been, that sounded very egotistical, didn't it? My apologies. Everybody has kind of been saying the same thing here, is that you're not going to see AEW get any better ratings-wise until they split these two companies off. Now, starting April 13th, we'll see what happens, because fast forward 2 months from April 13th, let's talk about how ratings are. If NXT is still stuck at the 700 mark, and can't get above it, not exactly a cause for concern, not exactly a reason to push the panic button, but it does beg the question, what do they have to do to increase their standing with fans and grow beyond the rabid, committed AEW fan base, which there's a lot of them, and they're there for everything that company does. They're the diehards, okay? But what does AEW have to do to increase beyond that? Here's what I'd like to see happen. This is Tom talking. I would like 2 months from April 13th and beyond for AEW to break 1 million plus and actually beat Raw's rating. And I would like the same thing to happen for the NXT brand. That's the truth. I want all these companies to be successful, the ones who are trying to do it right. And look, as much as we criticize NXT sometimes, as much as we criticize Monday Night Raw, because it's atrocious. And most of the time, if I'm being honest with you, Monday Night Raw,
hot garbage.
Bam. There you go. So most of the time, but the truth is, I want these companies, because they are attempting to do it right. They really are. I want them to succeed. I want them to flourish, and I want the product to be around for generations to come. That's the truth. And I want the same for New Japan. I want the same for Impact. I want the same for Ring of Honor. I truly do. That's not just lip service. That's not just lip service at all. That's what I believe. Brendan says, I think it's a smart move on WWE's moving NXT to Tuesday. Their hand was forced. I don't know if they ever decided on their own. They had to do this because of the NHL thing. And it's, what, good. It should be. Cameron, I saw your post. I'm officially finished with WWE while they're on Peacock. I canceled everything today. Liam says, what's up, Liam? Liam says, what's your thoughts on Peacock?
Hot garbage.
I don't know if you heard me, Liam. Let's say it again.
Hot garbage.
What? What'd you say?
Hot garbage.
I'm the guy that always tries to reserve judgment until we give it some time. I really, truly try to do that. You guys know that. Most of the time, I will say the words, we'll just have to wait and see. We'll see what happens. I say it all the time. Go back and watch or listen to any of my shows, and you will always hear me say the words, we'll just have to wait and see. We'll see what happens. Okay? Peacock is terrible. It's horrible. As of late last night, NXT was still not on Peacock. I don't even know if it is right now. I have no idea. Because I haven't checked today. It's ridiculous. And WWE, when they changed the network, was it last year? The format changed up. It was really bad. It was so easy to surf, so easy to navigate, and they made it really hard. And then they're doing this Peacock thing. The word that we're getting from on high is that the good folks at NBC are going to delete all kinds of stuff. Delete all kinds of stuff. Okay, which means the stuff that you enjoyed in the Attitude Era that made you go, "Oh, that's naughty," it's probably going to be gone. Here's my answer to that. Why don't you just put up a disclaimer? Why don't you just put up a disclaimer first and saying, the views expressed in this show and the things you may see, NBC Universal does not sign off on this. Watch at your own risk. I think I would be much more, this is intended for mature audiences. I would be much more inclined to agree with that than I would if they just go through and censor the whole thing. It's like burning the books, man. Why burning books? It doesn't make any sense. Dane says cancel content and everything won't be up until August 1st. I don't know. Cameron says Peacock is editing out old footage if it's too racy. Yeah, I get you. Phil and I had a conversation last night about some racist stuff that's happened in WWE over the years. I kind of have different feelings on the racist stuff because you don't really need any of that. However, at the same time, I'm kind of also of the opinion of you put up a disclaimer saying you may not like what you see and hear, and this does not reflect our company. You see what I'm saying? But that's the white guy's opinion. No one asked the black guy in the room. You're only asking the white guy. So as with anything that involves race, I can only give you one guy's perspective, and it's not the perspective of a black man. And I'm just being blunt with you. And I had to preface my answer and my comments to that going in. Let's move on here, kids. We're going to talk a lot of WWE here today. So let's talk some AEW, shall we? The Inner Circle returns on AEW Dynamite. What did you guys think about? Because here's my take. Okay. I kind of thought it was a little bit too early. I mean, the Pinnacle has been together 3 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, maybe 2. And they're already getting laid out and gashed open and need stitches and bleeding everywhere. And I'm like, I don't know. It's kind of, I don't know if it was really even necessary this early in the game. Do you know what I mean? We haven't really established the Pinnacle yet as being the top kings of AEW. And now they're getting laid out and destroyed by the Inner Circle. They're in the bathroom and Jericho's like, just there. They're all posed. They're posed. That's a very WWE thing. Don't nobody be hating what I just said. Tom's comparing the companies. I didn't say that. I'm just saying it felt very WWE like he's stewing. He's simmering. Look out. Kind of weird. So Ray says, love the Inner Circle. Des took to the woodshed. Yeah. I mean, it was, Dane says he agrees with me way too soon. I'm not going to lose sleep over it. It is what it is. Chris says, I highly suggest investing in a proxy and still using the WWE Network. As of right now, it's still working. I agree with you on this one. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. That's not a bad idea, actually. It's like Retribution is like the pinnacle of WWE. I don't know if I'd go that far. I don't know if I'd ever go that far. I mean, if you're talking Retribution.
Hot garbage.
But thankfully, that thing seems to be over. It's a shame, though, because, what's going to happen to Mace, T-Bar, The Reckoning, and Slapjack? I'll never get over that. I think you guys know that, right? Never get over it. Darby wasting time with Hardy. Hot mess. I don't know, Ray. I mean, you're entitled to your opinion, man. I think Matt can do some things for Darby for sure. Let's move on. QT Marshall. All right. So Phil and I discussed this last night after recording another fun, great episode of Tom Clark 6M podcast. Shameless plug time. Drops every Tuesday. We're going to publish episode 33 coming up Tuesday. 33? Yeah, it's going to be fun. I can't wait. It's going to be awesome. So yeah, it's going to be fun stuff, kids. Please go check it out. Subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. It's free. It's all audio. You can listen to it. Cam can listen to the show while you're driving the big rig, baby. Is that big enough? Like that? That's about right. Yeah. Anyways, big rig needs a big steering wheel, right? So I know nothing about trucks. Anyway, there's two prisms to look through on the faction discussion in AEW. Number one, there's too many, pal. Way too many. It's too much. Every week it's gang warfare from 5 different groups. It's ridiculous. Prism 2 is they do this stuff in New Japan all the time. This is regular occurrence. This is a Tuesday in New Japan. There's all kinds of clubs in New Japan. Bullet Club, Chaos. What else? The United Empire. Help me out here. What's the one that Makabe is part of? He's not in Chaos. He's in the other one. Oh, God. And now I'm blanking on the name of it. Was it Hontai? Is that right? Don't let me embarrass myself on the name. Hontai? Is that right? Someone help me on that. Shane, you're here, aren't you? God, why can't I remember? So anyway, the point to that little ditty was New Japan does this all the time. The difference is you don't often see Chaos and the Bullet Club, playing the feud, throwing punches, scuffling. Not all the time. Not like in a big Suzuki-gun. Thank you, Dane. Thank you. You don't often see them like all throwing down at the same time, like Shield versus Wyatt family. They'll have like 6-man and 8-man tag team matches and stuff, but it's not the same thing, right? So I think that's why it can work in New Japan, and the fans aren't going, oh, again with this. See what I'm saying? I think that's where AEW is kind of dancing the line a little bit. Hey, it's one guy's opinion, man. Take it or leave it. It's I don't know. I think it could be that they're muddying the waters just a little bit. I debated somebody on Twitter the other day who just freaking hates it. He hates this too. Well, they have ruined it. It's this, that, and the other. I'm like, is this Vince in disguise? You kind of sound like him. It's a joke. But I was intelligently debating because it's what I do. Because I don't, stoop to that nonsense and start throwing punches and crap because it's really weird. And we're all grown men and get over yourselves. But I'm like, hey, man, to each his own. I get why you're upset, but here's what I think. And he just kept on and kept on. I'm like, all right, I'm done. So it is what it is. I don't get it. I don't know moving forward how they handle all this. Because here's the comment that I'll make to this whole deal is if the company can juggle that many balls at one time, go with God. It's fine. 2 months from now, I'll be saying, man, this fashion thing is fun, right? I mean, all the time. There's a bunch of them, and it's fun. You got Cody's, was it Nightmare Factory, Nightmare thing? What's he call it? And then you've got the Butcher and the Blade and the Bunny, who's asking if there was a Matt Hardy, as a Hardy front office, I think they're calling it. You got the Dark Order. You got Team Taz. You got the Pinnacle. You got the Inner Circle. There's 6 right there. That's just 6. That's just the ones I can remember off the top of my head. Yikes. Chris says, at least people have friends, I guess, with these factions like WWE where no one ever has friends. But good call. Good point. You know how many times babyfaces get jumped at WWE and you're like, where are this guy's friends at? He doesn't have any friends? Isn't he a babyface? And everyone's looking at the ramp like, you want to help him? If I get in there, they'll beat me up. I mean, but like no one comes. To your point, that's really weird, right? I don't get that either. It makes no sense. It makes sense when people don't come help Roman. He's top heel. No one helps the heels, right? It shouldn't be. Elvis wants to talk.
Cameron Grimes.
Because
I'm going to the moon.
And
You can kiss my grin.
I just want to do that all the time. That's the only reason I did all that. Just to be funny. We'll talk about him. We're going to get there, Elvis. I promise you. Camera says 3 or more equals faction, in my opinion. Or does it equal stable? Is a faction of 3 a stable? Is 3 a stable? And like a faction is 4 or more? I don't know. Ray says Adam Cole doesn't need help. He's the king. He better hope he is, because he's kicked his friends to the curb, right, Ray? It's the truth. I'm not going to give you the button right now. I'll give you the button later. Tim says, I think that Team Taz will break up soon. It's sure looking like that. It's sure looking that way, my friend. So, yeah, we'll see. Here's a better question before we get off this QT Marshall stuff. Are you buying any of this? Is Marshall believable to you? Do you buy this? There are, in that moment when he has back turned and he knew they were jumping Cody and everybody, that was kind of cool. But then he turned around with that look on his face, and I'm like, I don't know. I'll reserve judgment. We'll wait and see how it works out. I can't say I was sold in that moment. And plus look, here, not for nothing, kids, but they're putting people on TV that probably would not even be on TV right now, if we're being fair. Not because they're not good, but in the world of WWE, those guys would be struggling in NXT and not ever have a place on live TV. You see what I'm saying? Or in the Performance Center, I should say. So listen, you always got to plan ahead for the future. You got to keep building for tomorrow. So I'm all about that. By the way, former HVW champion James Drake, JD Drake, is going to face Darby Allin for the TNT Championship on next Wednesday's Dynamite. You heard it here, baby. Well, actually, you heard it here other places too. Go check out my man JD Drake. JD, this is for you, baby. Last year, January 25th, JD was the main event of our comeback show, HVW Resurrected. He faced TJ Boss in the main event, and they talk about Godzilla versus Kong. That was Godzilla versus Kong, Jack. I promise you. Go check out HVW on the YouTube. The match is there. It's free of charge, man. No paywall or anything weird. Go watch it. It's freaking great. I put that main event up against anything I've seen on TV in the past year, and that is a freaking promise to you. And now Drake is doing his thing in AEW. Everybody go follow Drake on the Facebook, man. He's a really good guy. He's busted his hump for years. He's worked incredibly hard to get where he's at. Don't discount the work he's put in. You may not know him or recognize him. Don't even get concerned with that. This guy's put the work in. And yes, he is a high velocity wrestling original. So we support Drake through everything, all of his endeavors in AEW. Go kill it, man. I'm very happy for that guy, if you can't tell. Please go support him. I would very much appreciate it. Shane, I did not get to see Cowboy James Storm's 1000 match on Impact. I'm going to go back and watch it. So, yeah, we'll see. I am going to go check it out. I didn't get to watch it live. Arcade Anarchy. I've got a spoiler alert for you. Shocker. Are you ready? I actually didn't hate this at all. The whole night I knew we were leading to the Miro thing in the main event, and I thought, Did you catch that? Watch again. That's kind of what I give stuff when I'm just like, right? It's not really an FU or like a middle finger or anything. It's just, I was surprisingly good. I thought everybody did really well. I thought that Miro did really well. I thought that Cassidy did his thing. I thought everybody looked great, and it was fun. I'm not going to lie. It was a fun main event, dude. I don't have anything negative to say about it. Everybody here can hate on it if they want to. Go with God. I don't even care. It's fine. But honestly, I was totally cool with it. It was much better than I thought it was going to be. No kidding. I really enjoyed watching it. It was pretty good, I think. Was it match of the year? No. But I'm just going to leave it at that. I enjoyed it. Ray says, why is LA Knight jobbing already? Because it's WWE. I don't know, Ray. It's what I got for you. Timothy says the main event was boring. Hey, man, if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. I'm not going to try to change your mind. Dane says his work in Evolve against Theory was great. I agree. Yeah, I agree. And dude, I'm telling you, man, he's a quality person. I gotta here really, really quick. If I can find it, I will show you the pic. It's very fun. Last year at Resurrected, it was our comeback show. HVW not run a show in 6 years, I think. And it was our comeback show. We only got to run 2 events last year. And then guess what? COVID nonsense, right? January 25th, where it was a comeback show, and I asked Drake after the show was over. I said, "Dude," I said, "can my kid get a picture with you if it's cool?" And he was like, dressing back out, getting his stuff together. And he's like, "Yeah, man, no problem. Just let me get done here." I was like, "It's all right. It's all good." So he's getting done, and we're kind of hanging around. We're starting to break the ring down and clean the place up and everything. And he's like, finally, I came around the corner with my kid, and there it is. Can you see that? You probably can't see that. There it is. So there's my kid with his HVW hoodie on. Good stuff, right? And I told him, I said, "No, Wes," my son's name is Wesley, by the way. I said, "Wes, Drake said he'll take a picture with you, but on the understanding that he gets to chop you as hard as he can with the shirt up first." And my son's going, "No, no, no." I said, "I'm just kidding." So Drake poses with him like that. And as soon as I said, "All right, I got it," he goes, bam, and pops him on the chest through the hoodie. And my kid's like, "Oh," like that. He's like, "Oh, come on. I barely touched you." So that was pretty cool. I don't ever want to be on the receiving end of a chop. And listen, to anybody who would like a little backstage info, because everybody loves that stuff, here's a little something for you. I was talking after the match that night, and I told him, I said, "Dude," I said, "you and TJ killed each other with those chops." And you know what he said? He said, "I'd rather throw 30 chops and take 30 chops." He said, "I'm not landing on my head. I'm not falling on my neck." He said, "I'd rather do a whole match with chops. It's entertaining. It's loud. People get into it. It's still a fun match." He said, "It saves wear and tear on your body." And I mean, not essentially and all that, but I can't add that last bit in. But he's 100% right. I mean, if you want the answer, why do some guys chop that much? It's not really to do anything to do with age or that they can't bump. It's just that if it adds to the thing of the match and to the intrigue, and then people still get something out of it. We worked a lot with George South back in the day, and George, after the bell rang, would spend the first 5 to 10 minutes working the crowd. It's no lie. He'd be in the ring working the crowd, yelling at people. It would take 5 minutes. His opponent standing there waiting for him to lock up. And George's comment to us was always, behind the curtain was always, "Hey, if I can get 15 minutes, if I can spend 6 to 7 of those 15 just working the crowd, it's a night off. It's still entertaining. It's still fun. People still get something out of it. And I'm the most hated guy in the room. It's a win-win." See that? Psychology, baby. Psychology. HVW owner promoter Gary Benfield is here. What's up, Gary? Everybody say hello to Gary. What else have we got? Let's see. Timothy says, "I need to see more Ty Conti every Wednesday night." Boy, she's gotten much better. I will give you that. She's gotten much better. What did everyone think of Christian's AEW in-ring debut? What'd you guys think, man? I thought it was really well done. I have to be honest. I thought it was really well done. I thought he gave Kazarian a lot. They're really good friends behind the scenes. And the idea of Frankie facing him was pitched to him, I think, by Tony Khan. And he said yes. And it was a great choice. And let me tell you guys something. It reminded me a lot of Christian's first match in TNA, which I think he actually lost. I think. Don't quote me. Can't remember who he worked. Can't remember. I think he actually lost that match. But he gave the other guy a lot. Not only is it about respect to the company, but it's also about respect to the guy that you're working. Kazarian is a star in AEW, and Christian is not. Okay. And plus, Christian want to get in there and show that he can still do it. This guy has not lost a step. He looked exceptional on Wednesday night. So hats off to Christian Cage. I thought he looked really, really good. Really good match. Very entertaining. Chris says he didn't outwork everyone because Kazarian was in that match. All jokes aside, I enjoy. Yeah. And Chris, to your point, he has commented on that and basically said it's not really, like in terms of working to be the best. That's what he's talking about. And a lot of other people are taking that very literally. Other podcast people, not you guys, but other podcast people are taking that way too literal. Work means work, pal. No, that's not what he's talking. He's not talking about working the match. He's talking about working hard to be the best. That's what he's talking about. People can take it and make of it what they want to, and it's human nature, and that's fine, and I don't care. It is what it is. Match of the week. I agree with you 100%. Tim says Cage never lost a step. Couldn't agree more. Good stuff. Ray says, where'd you go, Ray? Christian was very good. He held his own. No doubt about it. Shane says, Cass, push him to his limit for sure. Cameron says, look good. I agree. No word on Brock at Mania, Dave. I got nothing for you. Although, okay, this is not backstage info. And this is, man, every time I tune in the main event, Tom's pushing the narrative of Brock Lesnar freaking coming back. Bobby Lashley keeps pushing the narrative of hey, it's still out there. Anybody that can take Drew McIntyre out gets a shot at the WWE Championship at WrestleMania. What if Brock takes out McIntyre this coming Monday on Raw? Takes him out. And then it's Lashley versus... Listen, I'm not saying I want it to happen, and it may not. And to everybody out there that loses sleep over, well, this is what he's saying. I'm not saying that. I'm saying anything could happen. I would not be surprised. If it doesn't happen, I won't be surprised at that either. That's just one guy giving you a take. Hot take. You can take it or you can leave it. It's all up to you and what you like and what you hate and all that good stuff. Let's talk some ratings, and we're going to get on to the previews, kids. This week, AEW 700,000 compared to last week's 757. This week, NXT 654 down from 678 last week. Kids, as I said before, you can criticize AEW or you can applaud them. You can criticize NXT or you can applaud them. It doesn't really make a difference at all. We're not going to know until they split these shows up. This week, SmackDown 2.03 compared to 2.01, just barely a rise. Raw, pretty significant drop, 1.70 compared to 1.84. Again, I give you kids the ratings. You decide whether or not you even care about them. It's totally up to you. Totally up to you. Okay. Let's get on with the previews, shall we? WWE Hall of Fame preview for April 6th. It's Tuesday. Tuesday. All right. You guys know they're going to do 2 years worth this time. And there's a bunch of names here, kids. The 2020 inductees include JBL, the British Bulldog, and Jushin Thunder Liger. That's not the Japanese spelling of Jushin, by the way. I think it's Jyu. I think. Or Jui. I think it's Jui. I got to see Liger in his last appearance in North Carolina. The year before last, I think it was. It was year before last. So cool. I've never seen Liger live, ever. It was so awesome. That dude doesn't age. I'm sorry. He found the fountain of youth and he's keeping it to himself. It's good stuff. JBL, personal politics aside, because I don't agree with a lot of his politics and I don't agree with a lot of the stuff that has been said about him over the years and stuff that he's said over the years and the whole bullying persona. I don't stand to gain anything from bashing him, but I don't stand to gain anything from praising him either. I will tell you that I wrote for JBL back in the day. He had a website called the Layfield Report, and I'm happy to report dude still owes me $250. And that's the truth. That's a total shoot, brother. But it's okay. I kind of hang my hat on the fact that JBL still owes me money. He had advertised, God, this is going back a ways. He had advertised he was putting a website together and that he was looking for writers. He said it on Twitter. So I sent him a Facebook message, and I was writing for Bleacher at the time. And I sent him a copy of my work, and he goes, listen, take this for what it's worth. Wrestlers work everybody, okay? He said, hey, man, I love Bleacher. I've read your stuff before. It's a definite yes. I'd love to have you on board. And I'm like, okay, well, that was freaking pretty cool, right? So I got the gig, and I just started writing. And the only request that I had was, it's okay if you criticize WWE. I'm not here to sanitize anything. But what I'll ask is that, you keep it reasonable. Don't attack. And I'm like, I don't write to attack anyway. I can go with those guidelines all day long. So I never attacked because there's no point in it. You want to know why? Because we're all adults here, and get over yourselves. No one's going to make any money, attacking people. And if you do, shame on you. That's blood money. That's how I feel. Okay. It was a good gig. It was a fun gig. It lasted a year or so. And I think that they shut down the site because he and Michael Cole started working on something together. And I got the email and it sucked. And I emailed him back and I thanked him. And I'd emailed him a few times during the course of me writing for him. And he was always very helpful. He was always very kind, and he was always good to me. I can't speak for anybody else that had an experience with the guy. I can't, and I won't because it's not me, okay? But I'll just tell you this. JBL always dealt with me fairly. I'm just being straight with you, okay? But I had emailed him back and I thanked him for the opportunity. And I said, it means a lot to me. So for about a year or so, my name was right next to that of JBL. And it's pretty sweet. I really enjoyed writing for him. So there you go. Dude still owes me $250. I kind of really like that story. So here's what I'm going to tell you, kids. When it comes to Hall of Fame, please don't anyone get bent out of shape. You can if you want to. It's totally fine. However, the Hall of Fame is up to one guy. One guy, and it's not you. Spoiler alert, and it's not me too, either. It's one guy, VKM. Okay? So if you don't like it, it'll be okay. I'm pretty sure the sun will rise tomorrow, and if it doesn't, if everything goes to crap overnight, none of us will be here to even know the difference anyway. All right? It'll be okay. This too shall pass. You can be happy for the guys that do get in. Kane was very tearful. He had that thing on that one silly show they have. I'm not going to tell you the name because it's silly. But where he's like thanking Taker and they're both choking up. Grown men, but it means a lot. And I'm not making fun. I'm sorry. But like they're both really all about it. And it was very cool. It was very emotional for me too. Like I'm watching that. I just love two grown men trying to hold stuff back. We're like, dude, I love you too. It's great. I don't poke fun. I really thought that was cool. It's not often you get really, really sincere moments from guys other than Flair, who puts himself out there all the time. And I love that about him. Wears his heart on his sleeve. You don't get that all the time from all of them. 2021 inductees, folks. The NWO. Poison. Hollywood Hogan, Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, and Sean Waltman, otherwise known as 123 Kid, the Lightning Kid, X-Pac, Six-Pack, 6X, 6X. I don't know. Anyway, great worker in his day, too. You guys know that. Eric Bischoff, Kane, the aforementioned Kane, RVD, Molly Holly, Great Khali, and the Bella Twins. You can look, but you can't touch. Blah. But guess what? I don't gotta like it. Want to know why? Not my Hall of Fame. They didn't ask me what I thought. I wasn't asked to send in my vote. Okay? No offense, no disrespect. It's their Hall of Fame. They can do with it what they want to. I'm just giving you the names. I can hate, I can love. Doesn't mean anything to anyone. Want to know why? Nothing's going to change. It's totally fine. Sugar Shane says WWE should be ashamed of themselves. It's not a shot at Titus O'Neil, but Shad Gaspar, what it should have been awarded the award, a posthumous award. Yeah. Shane, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I get where you're coming from. I would have been okay with that as well. I'll be honest with you. Actually, let's don't, though, Shane, discount what Titus has done and does for his community. Let's say hello. Alma, how are you, my friend? Thanks for tuning in. Doing well. Hope you are. Titus is a really good person. And when you say the words really good person, that doesn't always fit in with the words professional wrestling. Okay, that's the truth. He's a really good person. Everybody, he's a good family man. He's a good influence in the community. He's a good spokesman. Well-dressed, just a great guy. And I threw the well-dressed in there because his suit game is on point. Okay, no one's got a suit game like this guy. I mean, honest to God. MJF maybe, Steve Harvey maybe. I'm trying to think of guys with a really good suit game. Cody's got a good suit game, man. Sometimes the suit's a little tight, but you know, I'm just saying, if you got it, show it. I don't know. Her business suit game, dude, on point. Larry says they give Hall of Fame status for reality TV. Yeah, I get where you're coming from here, because we're not done with the Hall of Fame announcements here. I mean, I get it. So, again, folks, you can hate this list or love this list. It's entirely up to you. The celebrity inductee, William Shatner, and the World Warrior Award, there it is, as we said before, is Mr. Titus O'Neil. Good for Titus. I would dare say it means something to Titus, kids, don't you think? So there you go. Let's talk about the the black and gold brand. There it is. NXT TakeOver Stand Deliver. That's a lot of words. What are we looking at, kids? Night 1, Pete Dunne versus Kushida. MSK, Wesley, and Nash Carter versus the Grizzled Young Veterans, James Drake and Zach Gibson, versus Legado del Fantasma, Raul Mendoza and Joaquin Wilde. Triple threat tag team match for the vacant NXT Tag Team Championship. Leon Ruff versus Isaiah Swerve Scott versus Bronson Reed versus Cameron Grimes. I like to say it sometimes. Versus Dexter Lumis versus L.A. Knight. Let me talk to you. 6-man gauntlet eliminator match to determine the number one contender for the NXT North American Championship at night 2. That's a mouthful. Get that out if you can. Walter, shut up, versus Tommaso Ciampa. It's Ciampa, not Ciampa. Everybody stop. Ciampa. Okay? Singles match for the NXT United Kingdom Championship. And Io Shirai versus Raquel Gonzalez with Dakota Kai. Singles match for the NXT Women's Championship. What do you think about night 1, folks? Here's what I think about night 1. Glad you asked. Here's what I think. You ready for this? It's good. You ready? 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 Walter and Ciampa are going to steal it. Not going to be easy. It's a big night. Walter versus Ciampa. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I'm here all the way live for it. I can't wait for that match. I'm a huge Walter fan. I really, truly am. I have been for a long time. Only one match could steal the show, but that's happening on night 2. And it's funny who I think it is because he's got close ties to Walter. Shannon's late. Everyone boo Shannon. Shannon, shame on you. Shameful, Shannon. Shameful. I'm kidding. Thanks for watching as always. Shane says, talking about the suit game, somebody needs to tell Seth Rollins to wear some socks. What is it, Shane? With the lack of socks, The Miz does the same nonsense. I in no way. Let me tell you something about grown men. Ladies, gather around. If you live with a man or have ever lived with a man, you know grown men do one thing exceptionally well: sweat. Thin, fat, doesn't matter. Tall, short, ugly, ripped, chiseled, doesn't matter. Sweat, sweat, sweat. I in no way, shape, or form ever want to put my naked feet into a pair of shoes and then walk around town as if I'm the business. Because I'm not. Okay, number 1. Number 2, yikes. Don't ever do that. It's a horrible, horrible idea. Okay? Number 3, flip-flops. Can we take a second to talk about grown men wearing flip-flops? If you're a grown man, wear a pair of flip-flops. You suck. I don't care. I don't care what anybody says. I don't even care. It's horrible. Don't do it. It's disgusting. Do you take care of your feet? Men, do you? No, you don't. So shut up about it. Hate that. You ever go into a restaurant and you're having a perfectly good meal and you look over and Cletus is over there with his flip-flops on? You're like, dude, I'm eating, right? It's different for women. Women have pedicure. Their nails are painted and feet are, I mean, I'm not a feet guy. Don't get me wrong. But like, you're like, it's a woman. It's different. But man, cavemen, shut up. Where did that come from? Shane, you hit a nerve, baby. Danny says, don't underestimate Santos Escobar. Danny, we're on night 1, Dan. God, Dan. Jeez. Dan, with the night 2 stuff. So let's get to night 2. Thanks, Dan, for the segue. Night 2, kids. Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart versus The Way. This is The Way. Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell, a tag team match for NXT Women's Tag Team Championship. Adam Cole, where are you, Ray? Adam Cole versus Kyle O'Reilly. Unsanctioned match. You know what that means? It's going to go down. It's going to be on. Like Donkey Kong, man. No kidding. As for you, Ray. As for you, Ray. So anyway, there you go. Johnny Gargano versus Gauntlet Eliminator winner. Singles match for NXT North American Championship. Here's the match he's talking about. The match that I feel is going to steal night 2. Jordan Devlin, NXT Cruiserweight Champion versus Santos Escobar, interim NXT Cruiserweight Champion with Raul Mendoza and Joaquin Wilde. Ladder match to determine the undisputed NXT Cruiserweight Champion. I think Devlin for the win here. I love Jordan Devlin. If you're not a Jordan Devlin fan, shame on you. If you're not a Jordan Devlin fan because WWE's mishandling him from day one, I get it. Because wow, have they mishandled this cat. But listen, man, he's quality wrestling. He is quality wrestling. He and Walter, shut up. That's a match I want to see again for sure. You got to watch this, man. It's going to be great. I think they're going to steal night 2, no doubt about it. And then the main event, Finn Balor. It's my only one Finn Balor impression versus Karrion Kross with Scarlett, singles match for NXT Championship. There is your NXT Stand and Deliver takeover pay-per-view preview show on, not pay-per-view, on TV and stuff. Whew, I'm out of breath. It's a lot of words. Danny says Irish Ace. Yes, from your lips to the ears of God. Love it. Yes, absolutely. I thought he was trained by Finn, but I didn't know about the HBK part of it. That's news to me. It's cool. Ray says Adam Cole going to stop a mud hole and walk it dry. Jordan Devlin says Dave Yarnell is the man. How do you know he didn't say it, Dave? You don't know. Dave says Jordan Devlin is the man. Absolutely. Shannon says at least the women's tag team championships looking to be defended on a regular basis. The women's tag team on the main roster is a mess. Oh my God in heaven. You are correct. You are correct. Danny says he wants to see Dragunov versus Walter again. I agree with that 150%. Really, really good stuff. Danny says, well, Bobby Fish get involved. I think he kind of has to, doesn't he? The question is, yeah, but whose side is he on? To quote Bobby Heenan. So there you go. I don't know the answer to that, dude. I think we all kind of expect Bobby to stay heel because he's a really good heel. But I think Bobby would be a particular great babyface as well. Maybe he'll just be like, look, my name's Bennett and I'm not in it. I don't know. We'll see. There's your previews, kids. That's what we got for you. Let's open this floor up. Can you believe it's been an hour? Shut up. Isn't that crazy? Time flies when you're talking some pro wrestling. Dennis says, for the record, everyone, WrestleMania is only being shown on Peacock. In the States, yes. Walter versus Moxley. Not going to happen anytime soon, Alma. And I'm totally good with that because I want John to stay right where he's at. Shannon said, did we talk to AEW yet this week? Was so good. I enjoyed AEW this week, Shannon. We didn't spend a lot of time on Dynamite, but we talked a little bit about it. I enjoyed the show. Shannon, what'd you think of Arcade Anarchy? I actually thought it was a good match. It's better than what I thought it was going to be, if I'm being straight with you. It really was. I enjoyed it. So there you go. Who else liked it? I didn't get a lot of thumbs up for it, honestly. Somebody said it was boring. Hey, to each his own, man. It's all good for me. I don't care. But I enjoyed the show, to be honest with you. By the way, if you're still watching and you haven't hit that like button, hit it. Punch it, Chewy. Please and thank you. Hit that heart and thumbs up button, man. It'd mean loads to me. If you'd do that, I'd appreciate it. Don't make me hold hat in hand and beg for a handout. Danny says, why so many factions AEW? Danny, we talked to death about this. Danny, where you been, Danny? Good Lord, Danny. Good God. I'm just playing. It's what they're doing. It's the road they're going down. I can't answer that for you. It's their call, man. It's their company, you know. As I said earlier in the show here, man, as long as they can juggle that many balls and still make it work, go for it. Ray says, Tribe Called Quest or De La Soul. Also, if Adam Cole came over for Easter, would you invite me? Depends. Depends, Ray. You can't fangirl all over the guy. He's got to let the man eat. Got to have his protein. And by the way, Tribe Called Quest all day long. Dane says, with the angle during the Battle Royale, do you think it's going to be Kushida versus Pete Dunne added to one of the nights? Let's see. With the angle during the Battle Royal, do you think it's going to be Kushida versus Pete Dunne? It's already Kushida versus Pete Dunne. Night 1, singles match. Am I misreading what you're asking me? It's on the card. Shannon says the Lego spot was great. The return of Chris Statlander. I agree. I thought the Chris Statlander thing in the like the pseudo hook game thing with the stuffed animals, I thought it was pretty cool. I'm all about that. Next week, AEW will debut the best. Yep, Gary, we talked a lot about that so far. As a reminder, kids, next week on Dynamite, check it out. JD Drake facing Darby Allin for the TNT Championship live on Dynamite. Live on Dynamite. So you got to go watch it. Support Drake, baby. He's awesome. Dave says, if I give the U.S. title to Sheamus, if they give the U.S. title to Sheamus at Mania, I will not be happy camper. Love Riddle. I'm indifferent on Matt Riddle. Look, I had nothing to do with Matt's personal life. His personal life is his business, not mine. The fact that these guys and gals get their stuff paraded out in front of the world to see sucks. I'm not going to go there. I will say the same thing I've been saying about Matt Riddle for years. He's just not striking a chord with me. If I ever got the chance to review him, I'd be respectful and I would, of course, be a professional. And I would not say, hey, I like you, but I don't like your stuff. Because that's not true. I think he's fully competent in the ring. It's nothing, no personal disrespect, man. For me personally, I think what kills it for me, I liked him so much better in NXT. I really, truly did. I really did. Dude, they've made him out to be a clown. And you know what? He's getting paid. And you can't sit there and tell me that, oh, Tom, they're putting a gun to his head. I don't agree with that. And I don't believe it. I just don't believe it. I believe he's going along with whatever they ask him to do. And he's like, hey, you want to make me put a clown nose on and run around like an idiot? Fine, just pay me. I mean, you know what? Who among us wouldn't do the same thing? Be honest, okay? I can't hate on him for that. Will Thatcher betray Ciampa and rejoin Imperium? I hope not, Danny. I hope not. I don't want to see that happen. Shannon says AWB recruiting or be creating factions, WWE be breaking up. Oh my God. You're right. The Hurt Business. I mean, let's look at it this way, Shannon, to your point. When you have a faction and you're the world champion, you kind of can't have that faction around. The plan is to drop the belt, which makes me kind of feel like he's going to drop the belt at Mania. See what I'm saying? Now, that's not a backstage, hey, look out kind of info. It's just me talking. It kind of makes sense to drop the faction before you drop the title. That way you don't have that protection around, right? Dennis says Sheamus is hot at the right time, despite losing to Drew and Bobby. It was great. I agree. Sheamus is good. Sheamus is maybe one of the most underrated guys on that roster. I've always enjoyed Sheamus's work. I'm being honest. I can't say he's always been my cup of tea because of the gimmick, but people hate that face run he had. I thought his face run was good. I'm sorry. They turned it silly, but I thought it was good for a long time. Shane says, what was the purpose in having the Hurt Business split? I think we just covered that, Shane. That's kind of my take, is that he's going to drop the belt. Danny says it was time to break up. I disagree, Dan. I think they had more time. I think they had more ground to cover, more stories to be told. Shannon says also NXT up in numbers because of one guy.
You can kiss my grin!
I ate grits the other night because I love grits. I do. I'm a grit guy, man. I'm just gonna be straight with you. And this is what you put in grits. I'm glad everybody's asking. No one asked. Here's what you put in grits, because I had a debate with Chris Featherstone. By the way, go check out Pancakes and Power Slams. My colleague, Chris Featherstone, a great freaking human being. Chris is a great human being. He's probably not watching my show. It's okay. He's a great human being. Please go follow him on Facebook. Be his friend, man. He's a really quality guy, okay? But he's put on his Facebook many times in the past talking about he put sugar in his grits. I'm like, here's what goes in grits, Chris. Salt, pepper, butter, and cheese. That's what goes in grits. Holler at your boy right here. Because sugar and grits, are you kidding? What's next? Paprika in your cereal? It's disgusting. Come on, man. I wish I had some CM Punk news for you, Sandy. I got nothing. Because there's nothing to have. Gary said Dolph Ziggler is the best on the WWE roster. He's exceptionally good, man. He's going to retire there. I don't think you're ever going to see Dolph in AEW. Now, that's me saying I don't think. It doesn't mean it's going to never happen. I just don't think it's going to happen. Dennis says Ted DiBiase loves the gimmick. The Grimes promos. He was doing a virtual sign a few weeks ago with Rotundo. Ted love. Well, Ted's got some issues, Dennis, can I call you Den? Denny? DG? Can I call you Glenn? He's got some issues. None of my business, but yeah. I hope he gets on his feet. Hopefully he's on his feet now. I don't know. As I said, none of my business. Chris, I can have, you know what? I've not tried it. I've had it like in a restaurant. I've not tried it at home, but I definitely want to do that. What would you see? All right. So what do you season the grits with? Can I be curious? Do you still do salt, pepper, and butter, or is like the butter too much with the shrimp? I like the butter for the flavor. I don't eat it because it's butter and I heart butter. That's an old King of Queens line. I heart butter, but you do heart butter. It's good stuff. What else do you put in there? What do you season it with? Curious. Tim says, what's your take on Young Bucks and Don? I think it's all a swerve. They're going to turn heel. They're going to betray Mox. They will probably be the reason why Mox takes time off for his wife's delivery. That's what I think. You got to have a reason. It's not going to involve Kingston now because Kingston's hurt and whatnot. I think it's going to be that he thinks that the Bucks going to have his back and the Bucks turn on him. I think it's very telling that they have yet to lay hands on Omega personally and the Good Brothers. I think that says a lot. That's what I think is going to happen, Tim. Just my take. Dane says grits are gross. My God. Dane, shame on you. Chris says Tony. Ooh, you know what? I'm going to go with that. I'm going to try. I'm going to try it. I may not try it this week, but I'm going to try it. Dan said, dude, Dan, give it a shot, man, but don't get like instant. Get the stuff you got to boil yourself on the stovetops. Really, really good stuff, man. By the way, shameless plug time for the Waffle House. Exceptional grits. This is no joke. They've got exceptional grits. People tuning right now is like, I thought this was a pro wrestling show. What's he talking about? How do you know I don't have a lot of fans in the South? I got fans all over the world, baby. Other countries even. Okay? So, yeah. Where the heck was I? I forgot where I was. I'm doing voices and I'll lose myself. Yeah, grits are amazing. I'm sorry. By the way, Sandy says, where's the dog? DOG's probably outside the door. DOG is outside the DOOR. No, I can't do sweet tea, man. I gave up sweet tea years ago. You know how many calories is in one glass of sweet tea? You don't even want to know. Holy God. I gave up soda years ago. I gave up diet soda. I gave up tea first, gave up soda second, gave up diet soda third. All I drink is water and coffee. The only sweetness I have in my drinks is the creamer and the artificial sweetener I put in my coffee. I don't even do iced coffee anymore. Occasionally, it's just packed full of so many calories. Reggie says, I'm sorry for being late to the show. My wife says, oh, Reg, hey, man, the best to your wife. Please, everyone, send their best to Reggie Camp, okay? Please and thank you. All my best to your wife, man. Tell her that we hope that she gets better soon. Reggie, I'm sorry to hear that. Shannon, I'm funny you ask. Guess where I'm going to go after this? Sandy looking 20 today. Sandy once again making his case for being my favorite fan online. Sandy in Germany. Everyone tells Sandy in Germany he's amazing because he says I look 20. Sandy, you and I are BFFs, my friend. Where'd you go, Shane? Waffle House or IHOP? Waffle House. I like IHOP, but listen, Tom's no longer the fat guy. He's the thin guy. 198 pounds. I'm proud of it. Liam, I didn't mean to ignore you, brother. How many 5-star matches do you think Walter will do? Could be another one coming up. I don't know. I mean, he's got a lot of years behind him, but I think he's still got a lot of years ahead of him. We'll see what happens, but I do think that him and Ciampa's going to kill it. Gonna kill it. Tim says, well, Michael Jordan coached the Tar Heels. Never say never, Tim. I wouldn't mind it. I don't know if he's coach material. I love Jordan. Jordan's best of all time. Shut up. He is. Jordan's best of all time. Period. End of story. There you go. Guess what, kids? We've gone an hour. Guess what's going to happen after this? If none of you know about High Velocity Wrestling, now's the time to find out because I'm going to go live for just a scoosh after I sign off here today. And then later on today, I'm going to reveal episode number 33 of the 6M podcast. I got a lot to do. Lots to do. If you have not liked the High Velocity Wrestling page, there it is. Look for the purple and black logo, High Velocity Wrestling. You will find us on the Facebook. Go like that page. It's all over my Facebook page as well. I'm going to go live there in just a few as soon as we sign off here. And I'm going to preview the match cards for Proving Ground coming up on June 5. So please, all 21 of you, hold tight. Go tune in to High Velocity Wrestling and my personal Facebook page. I'll be there as well as on Twitch in the next few minutes after we go off the air. Kids, enjoy the festivities this week. There's lots of wrestling to watch. Okay? Lots. Raw Monday, Yawn. Tuesday, Hall of Fame. Wednesday, NXT and Dynamite. Thursday, NXT. Friday, SmackDown. Saturday is first night of WrestleMania. We're going to do a WrestleMania preview show next week, and we'll probably have guests. There you go. I think we're going to have Phil and maybe Troy as well. We'll see. Thank you guys for all the kind words you're saying right now. Happy Easter to all of you. Please, please, please don't go anywhere, dude. Don't go anywhere. Please come back and hang out. High Velocity Wrestling on the Facebook or my own personal Facebook page. I'm going to go live there as soon as I get off the air here. So I would very much appreciate it if you would come by and say hello and check out the match cards for HOW Proving Ground. We're going to get out of here, kids. Thanks again for watching. Everybody have a great weekend. Everybody have a great Easter. Thanks again, kids, for watching. We appreciate you as always. See you next week. Tom Clark's Main Event.